Hey guys, welcome back. Wes Arnold with First Choice Equipment. I'm standing here with the Ben Thiede. He is our branch service manager at our Waukesha location, and he is going to be going over some of the things we do for our pre-delivery inspection, and also we're going to touch on some preventative maintenance on our Kubota equipment. Ben, everybody knows you're a rock star. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join us here today. Why don't we touch base on some of the things we do on our pre-delivery inspection? I know there's a ton, but name some of the important things.
Yeah, we'll start from the easiest stuff, Wes. We'll get a little bit more advanced. From a general inspection, all the grab irons, safety equipment, all that's in place, tracks, rollers, things like that. And then we're going to get into the machine startup, which would include the engine and the hydraulic system, make sure that's performing at its optimum. And then finally, after that, it would be the functionally test the machine. Make sure all the functions perform properly. Any auxiliary or the auxiliary ports are functioning properly with attachments that you may have sold with the machine.
Right.
So a little bit of all of those things. The list is long, but those would be the highlights.
Sure. I think service has a call on line 1. Do you want to get that?
No, someone else will grab that.
So what you're saying is when the customer gets this machine, it's got to be running at 110%.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And it's our job in the service department to go through it with the sales department as well, making sure that the end product is perfect for the customer.
Ben, let's talk about something that you had mentioned earlier, preventative maintenance. Now, I know that these customers are going to be running the machine at 110%. They're expecting this machine to last them a long time. Why is preventative maintenance so important?
Absolutely. The key word is preventative maintenance, Wes. One of the most important intervals in the machine's life cycle would be the 50-hour service. So when a machine hits that 50-hour service, all the filters and fluids will be changed. I know Kubota does a great job of illustrating what level of service on the back of the machine. And then your owner's and operator's manual will provide what service should be done at that interval.
Right, so we want to keep these things running for a long time.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
So from a daily perspective, from daily 10 hours, 50 hours, 250, so on and so forth, each level is going to have different requirements as far as maintenance. I'm going to introduce Nicole Chuck. She is our expert service technician that works in the service department and completes all of our servicing and preventative maintenance on our Kubota equipment. Nicole, what are you going to show us today?
So first we're going to check the tension of these tracks.
Okay, and how do we do that?
Well, we first get the unit up in the air, and then we have to access the actual grease point.
Okay, so you want the tracks off the ground.
Correct.
Okay, good.
So we've got our grease point. We want to measure to make sure we are within spec. And this unit is actually within spec.
Excellent. And what is the specification?
The specification is between 0.8 and 1.2 inches.
Thank you for that. Nicole, in our pre-delivery process, checking all the fluid levels is important. Where are some of the key access points as far as checking fluid levels or adding fluids as needed?
Okay, well, we want to start with hydraulic fluid because that's the only way your machine's really going to function once it starts. The fill is on the side of the machine. To check it, it's actually inside of the cab. You'll have a sight glass that you'll see your hydraulic fluid come through.
Excellent. And where in that sight glass should that level be?
About halfway, there is an indicator on the sight glass that Kubota actually provides.
Perfect. Excellent. Nicole, on the left side of the machine here, one of the enhancements that Kubota has done is differentiate the DEF from the diesel fuel. Can you explain where both are and what that's all about?
Absolutely. Closer to the operator station, we have the actual fuel cap, which is a locked feature, and that helps for job site security as well as making sure you're paying attention where you're putting your fluid. And then over here we've got the DEF. Again, another lock for you on the door, and then a lock on the cap as well. Blue for DEF, black for fuel. Now moving to the back of the unit, we'll get to the engine compartment and we'll get to check our overflow bottle for our coolant, make sure that we actually have coolant in there. We're going to check our engine oil as well, which is accessible to the end user as well. Your dipstick and your fill is both back here. The filters can be accessed with the air filter in this canister. And then you have a couple other filters behind the radiator, which when you're actually servicing, you can pull off a little bit and move forward. So the performance side of the PDI, we will go ahead and function through the machine as far as bringing the bucket up and down, checking the cycle times, checking the crowd, the dump, the self-leveling, and the float. And we even go through making sure that the throttles work as well as the high-speed, 2-speed function.
So there you go, Wes. Hopefully that answers some of your high-level questions on our pre-delivery process. Nicole did a nice job walking you through it. Do you have any other questions, Wes?
I don't. I mean, I want to thank you guys for coming out. Thanks for coming down from Waukesha. And Nicole, you know, it's awesome that you're working with us here in West Chicago. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our page, and we'll see you on our next video, guys.
First Choice Equipment. We're not just building your community, we're also part of your community.
Hi, my name is Wes Arnold with First Choice Equipment. Back at it. Excuse me. Sorry, I had beans for breakfast.